Alright, let's see if this is working. Hey, we're on. Woohoo! Let's see if this is working. Hey, we're on. Woohoo! Alright. How's everybody doing? This is Bobblehead from the Bobblehead Scale Rod Shop, coming to you live from the workbench. I do apologize. I had 4 tries this morning and didn't work, and come to find out it was my software was a little bit old and needed to be replaced. So I got the software replaced and we are back up live and rocking. And I'm going to turn down my phone. Hold on. So, as you can see, I have finished the 53 Chevy. It turned out pretty cool. It is the Revell 1953 Chevy Bel Air Lowrider kit. It is the actual Lowrider magazine kit that came out, I want to say in 90s, early 2000s sometime in there. The wheels and tires are aftermarket. But my whole intention with this was to give it that cool lowrider bomb style look. I did go a little bit with graphics. Hey Ron, welcome back, and thank you, I appreciate it. But I did green graphics to come in the Cadillac to give it that a little bit of a lowrider style. I didn't think I wanted to put, most bombs don't have graphics, and I decided this car was going to have graphics, even though it doesn't really. Most lowrider bombs don't. But I went with the Testors Root Beer Metallic with Tamiya Sand Pebble Beige on top. And then in the engine bay is the famous Straight 6 paint detailing, and the motor is a off green, and there's a reason for that. The off green is an actual GM color that they used on GMC trucks and Chevy trucks in the early to mid late 50s. Everybody thinks that they were a dark green or a blue or an aqua, and actually some of them were also a light sort of tealish green. And so the truck motors always had more torque, so that's what I went with. And then let me pull this up, and here's a better look at the chassis. But for a project that kept me going for a little bit, thank you, Ron. I'm very happy with how it turned out. I wanted to have that look as though something was a cruiser and not something that was brought out 2 days a week or 1 day a week, and that's it. I wanted something that your average lowrider fan would cruise maybe 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 or even 7 days a week. So that's what I went with. The clear coat is a Future Floor Wax, otherwise known as Pledge, because I wanted that factory looking clear coat, factory style clear coat. I do have noticed that I've been using that a little bit more often, but it's easy and cheap and reliable. So, but that's how that turned out. Move that away. Alright. I posted on Instagram, haven't posted on the Facebook page or my private Facebook page, but 2 builds that I've got going. This is one of them. Well, there's 3 here. The Charger is still being built. The little drag Charger. This is Bobby Allison's 1984 Darlington Banjo Matthews chassis Buick Regal. I am using the GMP Buick body, and the roll cage of the actual driver's compartment is the Buick. The rest of it is the chassis and the front, and some of the back portion and some of the back roll bars are the Revell Haviland Ford Thunderbird, Davey Allison car. The reason I chose a Banjo Matthews chassis is because the Banjo Matthews was one of the more famous ones, along with the McLaughlin. And the Banjo Matthews wasn't just used in Ford Thunderbirds, even though that's how they came in model kits. So I decided I'm going to take and do a Banjo Matthews Buick. And it just so happens I have the decals came with it. Somebody put the decals in this box with this kit when I purchased it. So it's going to have the cut bar right down here. And one side will be the maroon, the other side will be the white. I will be detailing the net, safety net, window net, because in the car that I'm depicting was a gray net. There was some other cars that he ran that had the black net, but I'm deciding to do this car, so that's what I'm doing with that. But the chassis is built as far as pre-construction, and that's a Banjo. You can tell the Banjos come up here, whereas the McLaughlin chassis would come out and then scroll down right about in here. Banjo Matthews comes all the way out and comes around. So it's actually pretty cool. Turned out pretty nice. And then another project I've been enthralled with, you guys have seen, is the 71 CUDA. It is an RT. What I'm doing is it's the Revell 71 CUDA, and I'm doing it as a 71 RT 426 Hemi car. There was, from the information that I found and I've read up on, in Sand Pebble Beige, there was only 3 cars with the 426 Hemi. All 3 had the big Hemi billboards. These on the fenders. And then the two of the cars were built in the North plant, and one was built in the St. Louis plant. As far as Sand Pebble Beige goes, the Sand Pebble Beige that was built in St. Louis did not have the black back rear faceplate, and its Hemi was red. Nobody knows for sure if the car is still around, if it's been rebuilt. Nobody knows how it is or what's ever happened to it. So I'm going with the depiction that I've chosen, and that's where I'm at on it. The chassis has been detailed, working on the engine, and the wheels. Right now, the wheels, the interior, it's a black interior, black wheels, and the black wheels are stock standard wheels, Goodyear Polyglass GT tires, and the black billboard. The working on the wheels, working on the engine. I have to figure out, there's a couple of things that I want to do to make sure I get the detail of the engine 100%. I do have to take and bare metal foil the car, as far as around the windshield, the rear glass, and around the door, the upper parts of the door. And then the turn signals. That's the one thing that I don't understand, is that if it had these billboards, it did not have the rear turn signals in the body panels. But if you had white, it did. But the thing is the white's not cut. So I got no clue. It's my first shot at doing a factory stock build. I've never done one. So that's where I'm currently at. Cross your fingers for me, because it's definitely a different piece. And then to show you, I have gotten some stuff in. Something I wanted to add to my collection and my repertoire, as you would say. I've seen a lot of people use this stuff, and it's Scale Motorsports upholstery pattern decals. And we have the small diamond, big diamond upholstery, checkerboard, USA and European plaid upholstery, houndstooth, and elephant hide. So another add to my collection and my repertoire. And I am doing a few more NASCARs here and there, and I wanted to add to my stable of decals for I've got a few of the Junior Salvino's kits, and the Junior Salvino's Monte Carlo. Granted, it is a beautiful kit. It comes with beautiful graphics. Just everybody's going to be doing that car. So I tend to want to step out of the norm just a little bit. And on eBay, I found the Texaco Star Janet Guthrie number 82 Monte Carlo graphics. Beautifully done. So this is going to go on the Monte Carlo. On my AMT MPC Chevelle, the Pepsi Challenge Pepsi car. It's the Laguna body car. I got me some Lenny Pond car decals, a little bit more correct. And then for a kit that I've had for a while, but haven't really thought about building it, but now I'm thinking about building it. In fact, it may be my next one after the Bobby Allison. I got some number 97 Red Farmer Torino decals. It's a Long Lewis car. Gotten some more 3D printed parts. Really cool frames from Iceman Collections. If you haven't ever seen, go check them out on Facebook and eBay. Iceman Collections. He's got some really cool 3D printed frames and rear frame sections for like mini trucks, vans. They work on different stuff like that. The rear sections you can use on multiple different ideas. And then the other one that's on the desk that it's still the little charger, big tub charger. I have to finish the hood a little bit on the hood, and of course the Turbo 6. And once this is done, it'll be done. As soon as I get the hood done, it she'll be done, and then ready for paint. I still haven't come up with a color for it, so that's why it's still sitting here like this. And once I get the hood finished, maybe hopefully by then I'll have the idea for the color. Thank you, Ron. Yeah, I just decided to invest in my hobby, and decided to enjoy the hobby a little bit more by giving me some more tools, like this. This is a Dremel Micro. It's rechargeable, and it's got a drill type tip on it that I took and purchased as well. My whole idea behind that is when I get the valve covers for the Hemi dechromed, I can sit there with this and I can drill out the holes to put the wires in. This is a whole lot easier than using my big Dremel, which has got the cord on it. And for this, the corded one, I'm going to mainly use for doing body work, etc., etc. Just like I've done some rearranging, some cleanup, and I've gotten to the point where I'm actually quite happy with the way that everything is shaping up on the desk. I've even done the desk over here just a little bit. I mean, it's still cluttered, but it's not as cluttered as it was. So, no, Ron. In fact, let me grab it. I actually got to this point with it. I got everything working for it. Dash got to be 100%. Everything's 100%. That's where I got it, and I don't like how it's sitting in the rear, so I am working on another chassis to actually get it slammed on the ground. And trust me, I love this model. I want it to look right, and I love the look of the tires and the wheels, and that's why I want it, boom, like that, slammed on the ground. But the way that the shocks and everything, or not the suspension and everything sits on this car, it is not right, and I have no clue as to what I did, and I got a little bit disappointed in myself, so I basically put it to the side and thought I would revisit it in a little bit. I've always got quite a bit going. I've always got multiple projects going, so when I have an issue like I have with this one, I'll grab another model and put it on the table and start working on it a little bit farther. If I have a problem with it, it'll go back and this may come out, or another one may come out. I've got projects that I could easily finish in 3 days. If I worked 6 hours a day for 3 days straight, I could finish them. I don't do that because I want a certain look, I want a certain style, so I get up into my own head of what I'm doing, what I'm looking at, and so forth. Thank you. I love the red and silver. I love it's got a red and silver interior. Here's the dash, fully detailed. The exterior is completely done. I'm just at that point. I need to redirect thoughts into doing the chassis to make it look the way I want it. I've even thought of starting with a different chassis and going with a 4-link in the back. And that's another thing is that it's got red glass in the rear, red clear. This kit came with clear and red clear, and I decided to put the red clear in this car. I've always said The 49 to 51 Fords are some of my favorite kits, some of my favorite builds. But when I do something and it doesn't come out the way I want it, that means rebuild. But I do have other parts and things to make this a little bit. As you can see, that's how much gap there is between the axle and the frame. And I really want it to sit up like that. So instead of something like that, I have something like that. So need to figure out some way of changing things, working on things. But I'll be back on this, I guarantee. I might even have it before my local show in October. But that's what I've been up to. Again, apologize for the not being around as often. Yeah, Ryan, we all have them projects. I've got a 65 Chevelle SS396 Revell kit that is so far going on 8 years. It's an 8-year project. I've shown it off a couple times. I want it to be a certain way, and it's one of them projects. So be right back. Oh, sorry about that. I also have a project that I inherited that I think it's going to turn into one of those projects too. So, but that's what I've been up to. Finished the 53, finished the 66, which I think I showed it in the last one. The 60, or no, yeah, the 67 Chevelle Pro a touring car with a rake, smooth side, basically a curbside car for a curbside class at the shows. Rebuilt a Range Rover for a friend of mine, and I'm still looking at mine and I've never touched it. So that is a rebuild of itself too. Oh, there you go. You're working on it. You get in there. You know, it's a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and next thing you know, you might actually get it finished. So yeah, it's been a minute. I do have one new project that I picked up. I got. I don't think I ever showed it off. It is a 1940 Ford 3-window. Needs a lot of cleanup. The door frames do need to be cleaned up of how they are. I have to get it to sit a little bit better. It is based on the AMT. I am planning to put skirts on it. I have these resin skirts. Don't know where the other one is. These are resin skirts that I got in a group of parts, and I plan on doing this low, beautiful car. And the reason I'm using the fenders from the sedan is for a good reason. I want the 39 grille that comes in the 3940 sedan. So instead of a 40 3-window, this is a 39 3-window. And so I'm doing the being able to use that grille and everything. That will be a flathead car, and you can tell the detail that they put into this is beautiful detail. The only thing is I do have a little nick there that I'm going to have to touch up, and then I'm also, like I said, the door frames kind of stink. But once I get everything retouched up and redone, it'll be on the paint and this car will be done. But that's a future project that I'm tinkling with a little bit. So and then the 40 Ford sedan, El Gangster. With the visor. This will be going into final primer and then paint probably within the next month. Have not decided to put what headlights on it. This is the frame out of the 40 Ford sedan delivery, and they came with these big eyeballs. Looking to see if I've got some smaller ones to use. So if not, I may incorporate some factory style into the fenders, but I wanted to give it more of a different look, so that's why I'm going with it. So, but that's what's up on the bench. Yeah, Ron, the sedan is going to be another lowrider bomb. I love lowrider bombs. I love all lowriders. I mean, I love cars in general, but lowrider bombs is one of my favorite to build. And as far as this car goes, I know I want to do wide whites because the lowrider style, that just, I mean, it looks right, but then again, it doesn't. So I'm thinking something. And my other whites are gone. something like that. So that's what I'm building. That's what I'm working on. Um, well, you got one. You need to build another one, and need the brother or sister on the shelf. See, helping you out there, Ron. But and just to show off, I still haven't done much on her, but the car that I call Maryland. Still working on her. Did a little bit more sanding, got a little bit more cleaning done, and hopefully she'll be a little bit closer too by the end of the year. Hopefully even in her first coats of paint. So yeah, I checked that out, Ron. I loved it. I love that car. And there goes the tower of parts. But guys, that's what I've been up to. I do appreciate the time. But I smell dinner cooking, and yeah, it's dinner time, so I will have to catch you all later. And hopefully it won't be 4.5 to 5 weeks before I'm back on again. And hopefully the software doesn't change. But I do appreciate you guys. Throw a like down in the like button. And this is Bobblehead from the Bobblehead Scale Rod Shop saying thank you, and I'll catch you later.